Let's have a frank conversation. Man to man. There's a question that lives in the shadows of men's health. A question that has caused countless hours of anxiety, shame, and silent worry for men just like you. It's a question you've likely typed into a search engine late at night, hoping no one would see. It's a fear that's been passed down through generations, whispered in locker rooms and amplified by anonymous experts on the internet. And that question is, what is the real price of masturbation? What does doing it frequently, even daily, actually do to your prostate, especially now in this chapter of your life? For decades, you've been fed a steady diet of fear. You've heard the myths that it will wear you out, that it leads to chronic prostatitis, an inflamed, angry gland that makes your life miserable. And the biggest fear of all, that it increases your risk of prostate cancer. Let's be honest, that thought is terrifying. It taps into a deep, primal fear of losing your vitality, your independence, your very manhood. The panic it creates is real and it is valid. But I am here today to tell you that it is built on a foundation of lies. The true enemy we are fighting today isn't the number on your driver's license. It is not, and I repeat, it is not your age. The real enemy is a toxic cocktail of silence and scientific misinformation. It's the shame that prevents men from asking these questions out loud. It's the bro science and the old wives' tales that have been accepted as fact for far too long, causing good, decent men to live in a state of quiet dread, fearing their own bodies and their most natural urges. But what if we could shatter that silence today? What if I told you that the solution to this deep-seated fear isn't found in a pill, a potion, or some expensive and proven supplement? What if I told you that your own body holds the key? That a simple, natural, private act, the very one you've been taught to worry about, has been scientifically shown to be one of the most powerful, protective, and beneficial things you can do for the long-term health of your prostate? This isn't just a theory. This is a scientific revolution in our understanding of men's health. In this video, I am going to walk you through the undeniable landmark evidence that turns everything you thought you knew on its head. We are going to dismantle the myths, brick by brick, and replace them with unshakable scientific truth. By the time we're done, you will be free from this burden of fear, and you will be armed with a clear, actionable plan to protect your health with confidence and peace of mind. If you believe that knowledge is power and you're ready to take back control, do me a small favor and tap that like button right now. It's a simple click, but it sends a powerful message that you're ready to choose facts over fear. And be sure you're subscribed, because our channel is dedicated to giving you the unvarnished truth you deserve. All right, let's dive in. To understand why the old myths were so wrong, we have to look at how science works. For years, there were no large-scale, credible studies. All we had was speculation. But that all changed when one of the most respected institutions on the planet decided to end the debate once and for all. I'm talking about Harvard University, specifically the T.H. Chan School of Public Health. They embarked on what is known as a longitudinal study, the gold standard of medical research. They didn't just ask a few hundred men a couple of questions. They meticulously tracked the lives and health outcomes of nearly 32,000 men for almost 2 decades. 18 years. Think about the sheer scale of that. This wasn't a snapshot. It was a feature film of these men's lives. And a critical piece of data they collected was ejaculation frequency, from all sources. When those 18 years of data were finally compiled and analyzed, the results sent a shockwave through the medical community. The findings were not just interesting. They were revolutionary. Here is the life-changing truth that every man over 60 needs to hear, loud and clear. Men who reported a higher frequency of ejaculation had a significantly lower risk of being diagnosed with prostate cancer. Let that sink in for a moment. The very thing that myths told you was harmful is, in fact, protective. The numbers don't lie. Men who ejaculated 21 or more times per month, that's roughly every day or two, demonstrated up to a 33% lower risk of developing prostate cancer compared to men on the lower end of the scale, who reported only 4 to 7 ejaculations per month. A 1/3 reduction in risk. This is not a trivial difference. In the world of cancer prevention, that is a massive, game-changing advantage. And this wasn't a one-off finding. The scientific community took notice. A major Australian study involving thousands of men later confirmed these findings, adding a second, powerful voice to the chorus. The verdict was in. The old myths were not just wrong, they were the complete opposite of the truth. This, of course, leads to the most important question: why? How can this simple biological function have such a profound and protective impact? It's not magic. It's mechanics. Scientists have identified 3 primary mechanisms, and when you understand them, it will all make perfect sense. The first, and perhaps the easiest to understand, is the prostate stagnation hypothesis. I want you to picture your prostate not as a mysterious organ, but as a complex network of tiny pipes and ducts. Its job is to produce seminal fluid, which is rich in substances like citric acid, zinc, and various enzymes. Now imagine a stagnant pond. Over time, the water becomes murky, filled with algae and debris. Compare that to a flowing river, which is constantly clear and clean. Your prostate ducts can be like that stagnant pond if they aren't flushed out regularly. Old cells, prostatic secretions, and, most importantly, potential carcinogens or inflammatory agents can build up. Regular ejaculation acts like opening the floodgates of that river. It's a powerful, natural flushing mechanism that clears out all that old debris before it has a chance to fester, cause chronic inflammation, or trigger the cellular changes that can lead to cancer. It's your body's built-in, regular maintenance schedule. The second reason delves a little deeper into the world of your cells. It's about promoting healthy, cellular turnover. Your body is constantly replacing old cells with new ones. However, as we age, some cells can enter a state called senescence. You can think of them as zombie cells. They stop dividing, but they don't die. Instead, they hang around, secreting inflammatory signals that can damage the healthy tissue around them and create an environment where cancer is more likely to develop. The theory here is that frequent ejaculation stimulates the prostate, encouraging a more efficient and healthy cycle of cell renewal. It pushes the gland to clear out these old, potentially senescent cells and replace them with fresh, healthy, vibrant ones. It's like regularly renovating your house, room by room, ensuring everything is up to code and structurally sound, rather than letting the foundation slowly crumble over time. Now, stick with me because this third reason is the one that connects the mind and the body. It's the one that truly closes the loop for so many of the men I counsel. It's about the powerful link between stress, inflammation, and your hormones. Chronic stress is a silent killer in the modern world. When you are constantly stressed, your body is flooded with a hormone called cortisol. High cortisol levels over time lead to chronic inflammation. And chronic inflammation is a welcome mat for almost every major disease, especially cancer. It's like pouring gasoline on a tiny spark. What is one of the body's most effective, natural ways to counteract stress? The release of endorphins and oxytocin, which happens during orgasm. These are your body's feel-good chemicals. They lower blood pressure, reduce tension, and actively combat the negative effects of cortisol. So, every time you ejaculate, you are not just performing a physical act. You are giving your body a powerful, anti-stress, anti-inflammatory treatment. You are actively creating a biological environment that is hostile to the development of cancer. When you put all 3 together, the picture becomes incredibly clear. You are physically flushing out harmful substances, you are encouraging the growth of new healthy cells, and you are reducing the systemic stress and inflammation that fuel disease. This isn't wishful thinking. This is your body's brilliant, integrated design at work. This reminds me so much of a patient I'll call Frank, a 72-year-old retired teacher. Frank was a worrier by nature, and his prostate was his #1 source of anxiety. He was getting up 3 to 4 times a night, his stream was weak, and he lived in constant fear of a cancer diagnosis. He'd been taught as a young man that self-pleasure was something to be ashamed of, something that drained a man's essence. This decades-old guilt was now compounding his health fears. We spent a long time in my office. I didn't just give him the statistics. I drew him a diagram of the prostate ducts. I explained the stagnant pond versus the flowing river. I explained how oxytocin counteracts cortisol. I watched as 50 years of ingrained fear and shame began to dissolve. He left that day not just with information, but with a profound sense of relief. He felt like he had been given permission to work with his body, not against it. Now, this long-term preventative knowledge is life-changing. But I know that for many of you watching, your problem feels much more immediate. You're not just worried about cancer in the future. You're suffering with frustrating symptoms tonight, the constant urge to go, the feeling of not being empty, the interrupted sleep that leaves you exhausted the next day. If that is you, if you're dealing with the daily and nightly battle of an enlarged prostate, I want to point you to a very specific resource that has been helping thousands of men. There is a special video presentation that explains a simple 15-second bedtime ritual. This method is designed to get to the root cause of the problem by calming the frantic desperation signals your bladder sends to your brain. It provides fast relief from the nightly urges, while also delivering key nutrients to help nourish your prostate and encourage it to return to a healthier, smaller size. I believe it is so important that I have left a direct link to this free presentation in the description below, and I have also pinned it as the top comment on this video. If your quality of life is being affected right now, I strongly encourage you to watch it. For everyone else, let's bring it all together into a complete, holistic plan. Because you might be asking, Doctor, is this a magic bullet? Can I just masturbate my way to perfect prostate health and ignore everything else? And with all the responsibility that comes with my profession, I must tell you, absolutely not. Think of frequent ejaculation as one of the 4 incredibly strong legs of a table. A table needs all 4 legs to be stable. This is a powerful, protective factor, but it must be part of a comprehensive, healthy lifestyle. What are the other 3 legs of that table? First, and this is non-negotiable, is your diet. Your prostate can be your best friend or worst enemy depending on what you feed it. You need to load up on foods rich in lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that gives red and pink foods their color. Think cooked tomatoes, tomato sauce, watermelon, and pink grapefruit. You also need anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids, found in wild-caught salmon, mackerel, and sardines. And don't forget zinc, a crucial mineral for prostate function, which is abundant in pumpkin seeds. The second leg is movement. You don't need to become a marathon runner, but you must combat a sedentary lifestyle. 30 minutes of brisk walking, most days of the week, is enough to make a massive difference. It helps maintain a healthy weight. Obesity is a major risk factor for aggressive prostate cancer, and it improves blood flow throughout your body, including to the prostate, which helps with that all-important flushing mechanism. The third leg is smart, proactive medical care. You cannot manage what you do not measure. This means having an honest conversation with your doctor about prostate screening. Demystify the PSA test. It simply stands for prostate-specific antigen, a protein your prostate makes. A simple blood test measures its level. It's not a perfect test, but it's the best early warning system we have. Don't fear it. Use it as a tool. So where do you start? Can feel overwhelming. Here is my prescription. Your first step is not physical. It is mental. Right now, in this moment, make a conscious decision to forgive yourself for any past worry or shame. Let go of the myths. Accept this new, empowering scientific truth. Your second step, your call to action for tomorrow, is to choose one thing. Not everything, just one. Decide that tomorrow you will have a handful of pumpkin seeds as a snack. Or you will go for that 20-minute walk after dinner. Or you will make the phone call to schedule your annual checkup. That's how real, lasting change happens. One small, decisive step at a time. Imagine a few weeks from now. Imagine sleeping through the night more often. Imagine the confidence that comes from feeling in control of your body. Imagine the peace of mind at your next doctor's appointment, knowing you are doing all the right things. This isn't a fantasy. This is the future you can build for yourself, starting today. This is about being a healthy, vital, and confident man, present and strong for your family, your grandchildren, and for yourself. If this video has armed you with new hope and a new perspective, please share it with a friend or brother who needs to hear this message. And let me know in the comments, what is the one healthy action you are going to commit to this week? Voicing it makes it real. Remember this, gentlemen. Your body is not your enemy. It has an incredible, innate wisdom. The secret to health and vitality in your 60s, 70s, and beyond is not to fight against your body, but to finally learn how to listen to it and work with its brilliant design. Your story is not over. The best chapters may be yet to come. Stay healthy, Stay strong and stay curious. I'll see you in the next video.